And for more analysis, joining us now, CIA veteran Barry McManus, also president of Global Traveler LLC. Barry, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Natasha.
A lot is happening, and even in just the last hour, we're hearing from Putin for the first time. We're hearing him thanking the Wagner Group and the fighters for standing down and avoiding bloodshed. He says he's going to keep his promise. They can go to Belarus, they can sign a military contract or go home. This is not fire and brimstone. Are you surprised by Putin's tone and message today?
Well, I'll begin by first stating that Putin broke the #1 rule for any authoritarian government or ruler. That rule is don't allow a competing army to form. And that surprised me more so than anything. 2, Putin is a tyrant. And yes, it may seem that there's cracks in his armor, but maybe that's something that he's planned for and able to handle. Putin has a history of what happens when you betray him. And don't underestimate Putin. He's been betrayed by Prigozhin and the Wagner Group, and maybe he will want a little bit of payback.
And I mean, to that end, let me ask you, Barry, there's a lot of talk of a weakened Putin right now, that these 36 hours exposed cracks in his grip on power. Do you agree with this, or with his track record and past leadership, no matter how mild his message today, is a crackdown likely in the future?
Well, let's see where Putin is right now. Putin is still the head of Russia. Putin is still the leader of the military. Putin still controls the media. He still controls the financial sectors of Russia. So how much, in essence, has he given up? He's still in control. Now, one is to say what happens tomorrow. I don't think anyone knows what happens next week or a year from now. We just don't know. But for right now, with everything is being said, he still is in control. So I look at this as a behavioralist. I don't look at this as a military strategist. I don't look at this as a political leader of any sorts. I look at Putin being a human. And the fact that he's narcissistic, but right now he's showing that I'm still in control, but he's also showing a personal side, a more humanitarian side to the Russian people. He is a chess player. He plays upon the audience. And right now he's showing the audience that I'm in control, but I'm still open to change. And that's a little out of the ordinary for him. But I think it's all planned. So I don't want to jump to conclusions, and I don't think anybody should, because after 36 hours of what was considered a coup, maybe it wasn't something that is as damning as it could possibly be for him. So just don't underestimate it.
Barry, let me follow up on that. What do you mean by saying it was all planned?
One never knows where if this is a plan for Putin to put Prigozhin in a situation where he is now moving out of the Ukraine into now Belarus. Could this possibly be a plan for Putin to possibly back out of the Ukraine? One doesn't know. That's just speculation. Again, I'm not a military strategist, so I'm not going to step too deep into that, nor am I a politician. I just look at the behavior of the man. And the behavior of the man is such that he has many faces and he plays upon the audience. And this may be a good ploy for him to utilize this as a way of, I don't want to say backing out of the Ukraine, but to save face for the Russian people and for himself.
Okay. You know, meanwhile, today we are hearing from the Wagner leader, Prigozhin. He is backtracking. He's saying this was not an attempt to overthrow Putin. This was a protest. Do you believe him? How does that look to you?
Well, I think, again, I don't know Prigozhin. I don't know his mental state, but I know the background of him. And you think about where he's come from and how he was built up by Putin. I would not want to be on the other side of a disagreement with Putin, even though obviously there must have been some thinking of leaders behind him pushing him to make that movement into Russia. But at the end of the day, I would still say that I would not want to get on the wrong side of President Putin. And it's a known fact what happens if you do. And that's something that I think we all know. That's all open source. Everybody knows if you disagree or you become on the bad side, bad things happen.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.